AfroTalesCast is a part of the Connected Podcast Network. Chef. Yes, Glio. Don't you love how we get to share our stories and recipes? Yes, I enjoy it greatly. Do you know what makes it possible for everyone to hear us? Yes, Glio. Our voices, obviously. True, but it's also Anchor, a hosting platform that distributes the podcast to places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and others. Oh, yes. And isn't everything needed to make a podcast in one place? That's correct. And the best thing of all, Chef, it's free. Free, you say? Free. And all I had to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So, you just had to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Yep. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and do what we're doing now. Fantastic, Grio. Simply fantastic. I know, Chef. I know. Well, hello there. I'm Aman Mazingo, your storyteller, and this is season 2 of the Afro Tales podcast, where we journey through the Americas and the Caribbean to explore the tales that grew from its African diaspora. I want to thank Art by Chalet for the beautiful episode art, and especially thank you for joining us on today's adventure. How the animals came to earth. Now, listen here for a second. You know, people look around and got their pets and go to the zoo and all that. Look on the Discovery channels, what y'all call it now. And they just take animals for granted, you know? None of them ever wonder where they really came from. Yeah, I know it's said in the good book, but do you really want to know the truth? Well, I'm going to tell you the truth today. You see, most folks don't know it, but animals didn't always live on Earth. Way back before in the beginning and once upon a time, they lived next door to the moon. They'd probably still be there if old Brother Rabbit and Sister Moon hadn't started squabbling. They were squabbling with one another like they were married, you know? The way it come about is like this. The animals like to sit out there in their yards every evening and look at Sister Moon. They thought she was just about the prettiest thing they'd ever seen. And Sister Moon never did argue with them. Well, the animals started noticing that she was losing weight. To tell you the truth, she was looking downright puny. Like she had gone on a cottage cheese diet. Brother Rabbit decided to climb over the fence and find out what's going on. Well, what's the matter, Sister Moon? I don't mean to hurt your feelings or nothing like that, but you look as poor as Job's turkey. Sister Moon said, I ain't feeling like myself of late. Is there anything I can do to help you out? Thank you, Brother Rabbit, but I don't believe you, the man, to do anything I need doing. Brother Rabbit was insulted. I'm more of a man than Brother Sun, who you always chasing over the sky every month and can't catch up to. Sister Moon smiled tightly. All right, Brother Rabbit. I'll try you out. I need you to get word to Mr. Man that I ain't feeling like myself. I believe I done caught a cold from being out in the night air so much. If I don't put my light out and take a little vacation, I'm going to be in a bad way. I don't want Mr. Man to look up and see my light out one night and get scared. I get word to him. I've been wanting to see what something called Mr. Man look like anyway. Tell Mr. Man, I said, I'm getting weak to be more strong. I'm going in the shade for it to get more light. Brother Rabbit said it over a couple times and off he went. He took a running start and jumped a long jump. He fell through space, past the stars and down through the firmament. Tumbling tail over head and head over behind, this was no place for a rabbit. He was so scared, his eyes got big and wide, almost popped out of his head, and they've been there ever since now, I tell you. This the last time his mouth was going to get him into something his feet couldn't do. He landed on Earth and waited a few minutes to make sure he had all his parts, and they were in working order, you see. Then he looked around. The first thing he saw was Mr. Man's garden. It was filled with green peas, lettuce, cabbage, collard greens, and sparrowgrass. Over in the field, he saw sheep, cows, goats, and pigs. Brother Rabbit's mouth started trembling and dribbling at the same time. Now, he went up to Mr. Man's house, knocked on the door, and said, I got a message for you from Sister Moon. What is it? Brother Rabbit thought for a minute. She say, I'm getting weak. I got no strength. I'm going to where the shadows stay. Mr. Man got ignorant. Tell Sister Moon I said, seldom seen and soon forgot. When Sister Moon dies, her feet get cold. Brother Rabbit nodded and took a long jump back up to Sister Moon. He told her what Mr. Man said. Sister Moon was angry. She hauled off and hit Brother Rabbit with a shovel and split his lip. Now, Brother Rabbit don't take no stuff off nobody, and he clawed and scratched Sister Moon. And to this day now, you can see the marks. Rabbits have split lips, and the face of the moon is all scratched up and got holes in it. That came from that tussle. Brother Rabbit went and told the animals about all the vegetables and sheep and goats and fat pigs he's seen on Mr. Man's place. Now, they decided right then and there that Sister Moon was on her own from that point on. They took the long jump, and this is where they've been ever since. Down here on Earth with the rest of us. The end. Okay, yeah, so that was a thing. How the animals got to Earth, which I think created more questions than gave us answers. You know what I mean? Like talking to my artist about how to do the episode art for this, hashtag art by Chalet. Fantastic artist. Has done many pieces for me, and I love all of them. And I was telling her a little bit about the story so that she can get an idea of what to draw. And the one thing that I couldn't understand was the animals lived next door to Sister Moon, right? But Sister Moon is the moon. And she chases the sun, so she, is the celestial body, the moon. And the animals live next door to her. And me and her kept going back and forth as to where or what do the animals live in or on. And as you see in the episode art, she created how she said it was a small little planet. And I nicknamed it Animal Planet. no, I'm not sponsored by Animal Planet, but the animals had a planet, and that was next door to the moon. So she says there's a planet on the other side of the moon that we can't see, and that's where the animals live. I said maybe that's where the dinosaurs are that left here, and we had a laugh. But I just love how they came up with this idea that the animals, not all animals per se, but you got to understand what that, not all animals, because you had the sheep, the goat, the farm animals, the animals used for textiles, that's used for dairy, that's used for meat, all of those animals were here already. So it was the wild animals to me that came down. The bears, the tigers, the lions, the rabbits, the foxes, I wonder if the dogs were here already, I wonder, oh my God. Cats too. Well, we all know cats came from a different planet altogether. You can just look at them. I know. I have a cat. Her name is Coco. She's a black cat. And yeah, everybody that owns a cat that's listening to this right now, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Nothing more needs to be said about that. But I love the story. I do love the idea that the animals came from somewhere else, and how his interaction, Bro Rabbit's interaction with Sister Moon, like, hey, I help you out, and she's like, you're not man enough to do. Wait, hold on, lady. Wait a second. Don't discount the rabbit, boo. You know what I mean? Don't play the rabbit to the left. Watch me do what and then he goes down there, jumps through space, no spacesuit, gets to Earth, and talks to man. And man, just like men, just like humans, how dare this celestial body, the moon, tell me it's going to be gone. Although it didn't tell you how long it was going to be gone, it just said it was going to be gone real quick. Not for long, though. We know that the moon only goes away for one night. But yeah, and then Bro Rabbit gets hit in the face with a shovel. First of all, Moon, where did you get a shovel? I need to know. Where did you get a shovel? And why are you hitting Bro Rabbit for relaying messages? That man, you taking this out on the wrong. What they say, don't shoot the messenger. Okay, but I give Bro Rabbit, I don't condone hitting women, but I give Bro Rabbit props for fighting back, because the moon is big and that hit had to hurt, that it created a split in your lip for all your descendants from that point on. So is this Adam? Adam talking back, to the moon? I don't know. There's so many more questions than answers in this story. But I loved it. I hope you guys loved it too. I thank you for coming on this adventure with me. I thank you for sticking around, joining us. If this is your first time listening, please go back and listen to season 1. There are some great stories in there. Stick with me, and we are going to go into season 2 and have fun and just have a great time going through these stories. And I'm reading them straight from how they're written. I'm not adjusting. I mean, it may be a little ad lib here and there, but other than that, I'm not touching the stories. So you're getting them the way I got them. And I love reading them that way, because that's how I would read it to my children. So that's how I'm reading it to you guys. All right. This is season 2. We're here. We're back. Afro Tales Podcast is here to stay. I love you guys. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know this is a little long, but I really got to say thank you. I love this story, and I love you guys for listening to me once again. If you have anything, please let me know. You know how to get in contact with me. Anyway, again, thank you, and always have a great day. Thank you again for your time. Thank you for supporting and sharing this podcast with your family and friends. You can always find Afro Tales Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to leave me a message or a tweet, I can be found on Twitter at AfroTalesCast, on Instagram and Facebook at AfroTalesPodcast, and now on Coffee at coffee.com/AfroTales Podcast, where you can financially support me for the price of one small cup of coffee. However you support, I thank you and I appreciate it always. So until next time, have a great day.